Today, we talked to a seller who was killing it in print on demand, but then got shut down for trademark infringement. But then he pivoted to private label, Amazon, and for the last 4 years, he has doubled his revenue every single year and is now projected to do $3 million of revenue this year. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And we are going on the other side of the world, probably 10 hours difference, 11 hours difference from us here in Estonia with Ranno. How's it going, man?
Hey, Bradley. Thanks for having me.
Is it still bright over there, like at 11 p.m.? Is the sun still out, or is it not that time of year yet?
Not anymore. Like it was like that in June. Now it's we're declining again, so it's getting darker and darker every day, unfortunately.
That still just boggles my mind. Like living in a place where it's going to be all dark at some times of the year, and then other times it's like 11 p.m. at night, and it's still bright. It was like that's right. I was there in Estonia for the first time a couple months ago, and it was like 10, 11 at night. And I'm like, I can still see the sun. What's going on here? It's crazy.
June is the brightest month when you visit Estonia as well. It's basically like 22 hours of daylight almost. So it's awesome.
I told you this story, but the audience doesn't know. But a funny Estonian story. Estonia has a strong seller community. First of all, like there's. When you think of countries that don't have big populations, like the amount of good sellers in Estonia is kind of like disproportionate, I think, to the population if you were to consider it. But I've obviously the first Estonian seller I know is Annika, who I'm still trying to bring on the podcast, but she hasn't come yet. And then we had Neme come on the podcast, and it was so funny. I told the story that I met Ranno at a $1 billion seller summit in person where we hung out a little bit. It was like 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then, I knew he was from Estonia then. And then Annika would always talk about Estonian sellers, and she would tell me, oh yeah, you should have Neme on the podcast also. And I was like, okay, yeah. And so for like a year, we would talk about that off and on. And eventually I did. But every time she would mention him, because I guess he was at that or one of either that one or another $1 billion seller summit.
Yeah, he was there as well.
She would mention he was there. Yeah. She would mention him a lot, and in my head, whenever she mentions his name, and now he's been on the podcast, guys, like a few months ago. But whenever she mentions his name, your picture of you was who I thought he was for like literally this wasn't like a couple of months, for 2 years. She would talk about him. And then I would be thinking of you. And then so finally we scheduled the podcast. And then as soon as he comes on the podcast, I'm like, what the heck? This guy really aged in the last couple of years. I was like, no, I must have the wrong person. And I realized you are two different people. Yeah. And it was so funny. I was like so confused when he first came on the podcast, because that was the first time we talked one-on-one on the podcast. But finally I have who I thought I was having on the podcast. I just had the names mixed up. So
I had a good laugh as well about that. told it to my friends, and I was like, that's funny.
So hilarious. Yeah, I thank both of you guys for not being too offended about that. But anyways, this is your first time on the podcast, and so what I like to do is I like to get some backstory. And so I assume you were born and raised in Estonia.
Yeah. I'm born and raised in Estonia. 31 years old.
Did you go to university also in Estonia?
Yeah.
And what was your major for studies?
Finance. So I did my bachelor's and then also master's in finance.
And when you graduated, did you start working in that field at all?
No, not really.
That's kind of like what a lot of people say, the same thing.
Yeah. What actually happened was that after I got my bachelor's degree, then I went to Australia for a year just to, explore the world. I hadn't traveled too much back then, and then save some money, And I always had this thing at the back of my head to start my own business, because my father has always been very entrepreneurial. So I was like, instead of going to some corporate work, I want to do something myself. But I didn't know back then what's it going to be. And then when I got back from Australia, then it kind of naturally went that I had a friend that didn't have any money, and I had saved like 10,000 euros, and he had discovered, Amazon, and then that's kind of how I.
What year about are we talking about?
2017.
2017. Okay,
Yeah,
so then
8 years ago.
So then you two partnered up to like launch an Amazon business, or what did you do?
Basically, so how it started was that he already had started business, like Amazon business, with another guy, but both of them didn't have any money, and they were just doing it for beer money, basically, like print on demand. And then, like, we were all friends from the same small town, and then I partnered up with one of the guys, and I was like, okay, I mean, I have 10,000 euros, we can try something. We started doing print on demand. Like we just did everything, like copyrighted designs, whatever we saw.
Was that like merch by Amazon, or what kind of print on demand?
It was print on demand. So we had we put up a Shopify store, and then we had an Amazon store, and then whenever like order came in from Amazon, it directed it to Shopify and then to the vendor that printed.
So you didn't use Amazon print on demand. You were using an outside vendor, but just putting the listing kind of like on Amazon.
Yeah, we didn't get access to the merch by Amazon at first. I think we did around like a year later. But back then you could only do like T-shirts and I think maybe hoodies as well. And you couldn't really do anything. Like you just uploaded the design and that was it. But with
and what were you guys doing? What were you doing with the other vendor? Like just T-shirts, or
we started with T-shirts and then hoodies and then doormats, mugs, keychains.
How would you come up with designs? Like what? Like was it like text or drawings or what?
Both. Like we started with text. I had no Photoshop skills at all, and then we started with just random text designs. Like we did a lot of keyword research, like every day. Like we had a task for both of us that we have to come up with 10 different like slogans or ideas, basically. And then we just like Photoshop them. Like I learned Photoshop in a month just to do some basic designs. And then we just uploaded. Like at one point, I think we had like over 1,000 different products uploaded to Amazon. Wow. So we built like a small system, so it would be like faster and easier to upload all those designs that we're doing, because
I bet you wish AI was around back then. Probably could have.
it was like pure manual work.
And then what did you scale that up to then? Like monthly or yearly? Like what would you say your revenue was?
We started in July, and I think we made like in October or November, we already made like 50,000 a month. But we had designs like copyrighted designs that you're not allowed to sell. Like we had some like Disney stuff. We had like different TV shows, movies, like everything that basically had friends. Like what would sell basically, and we got away with it for a year almost. Not for a year.
How blatant was it? Like you say you were violating some copyrights, but when you say TV shows, was it like you were showing the likeness of the person, or you were actually saying friends or something, or was it just a phrase or from a line from the show, or what?
Yeah, like lines from the show. Then also like comedy versions of the show. Like you had the Friends font, basically, but we had something like we had some other word in there, but it looked exactly like Friends. Game of Thrones was a big thing back then. Made all the money with this. And then actually the craziest story is that there were like the mumble rap started going big in the States. Like there was the Triple X Tentacion, and then there was Lil Peep, and we like the third guy that eventually joined the business as well was a big fan of this rap music, and he had those ideas that let's do like rap designs. I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, we can see that there's some traffic. Uploaded and that was like blatantly, like we put basically their face on the shirt, started selling it like immediately, 10 units a day, 15 units a day. And then the craziest story happened. Like unfortunately, one of the rappers I think died in 2017 November. And
that's XXX Tentacion probably.
So RIP to him. But yeah, I woke up in the morning and like Amazon has completely blew up. Like we sold 500 or 600 shirts in a day, and that happened for a week in a row. So basically, the money I had, like immediately we ran out, so I had to borrow another 10,000 from my parents just to.
It ran out because you have to pay to the vendor to print before you get the money from Amazon. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So if you like, they're charging per order. So if your order comes in, the vendor is charging you like $10 or whatever the shirt was or something like that, and then Amazon pays you obviously like 2 weeks later. So we wanted to get all of those shirts out immediately, but then the shop was blocked because we didn't have any money on the card. Then I had to borrow that from my parents, and that was a very successful month. But that's also from where the troubles started. I think like a month later, their team messaged us. Then we didn't argue or anything. We just took the designs down. That was it.
Through Amazon or through Shopify, or how did they contact you?
Directly to our email. I think they got this from Amazon, they contacted us directly through the email. And then a few months later, Disney contacted us. I think it was in 2018 February. Basically, I don't know how it's called, like cease and desist letter or something. So basically, if we don't take everything down immediately, then they're gonna charge us like $10,000 or something. And obviously, we got very scared, so we just took everything down. But by that time, with those 6 months, we had already made in profit, I'd say probably like 25,000-30,000 euros. Mm-hmm. So we were now like, okay, now we're gonna start again. And by that time, we had already heard about the FBA model as well. We just didn't have any good like ideas how to do it or how to start with it. And then I started actually learning about FBA through Helium 10, which is crazy.
Freedom Ticket and our videos, Project X, things like that.
Yeah. 2018, I probably listened to at least like 50 to 100 episodes. Like whenever I went to a like evening walk, evening run, I always put the podcast into my ear just to and what's going on. And then in 2018 summer, basically a year later, we started with FBA. Yeah.
Okay, and then how did you do with your first private label products?
So we started. So now there was 3 of us.
Okay.
And like our first plan was that, brainstorm products. We were really good at keyword research. So we kind of understood, what's going on. And basically every one of us came up with a brand. And we started all 3 of them, which probably was a big mistake. But, we didn't have any experience, and we were like, let's try all of them. And let's try all of them on all markets. So basically, we tried to we started selling something in the EU and then also something in the US, and we learned a lot. I'm like expert in selling in every marketplace, but that also was like a big issue when we wanted to start to scale the brands. That got really hard really fast, and nothing really took off that fast. So I think that 2018, half of 2018 and then 2019, these were like the most miserable years of my life.
Because you had sunk a whole bunch of money in and you weren't getting too much back yet.
Yeah, we were putting, like all 3 of us, we were putting 8 hours, 10 hours every day, trying to figure out like how to get this thing working. And like we made, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 a month in revenue, but it wasn't profitable. We didn't know how to do ads properly. We didn't have branding, and we had 3 brands, which was a huge mistake. Yeah. So 2020, the COVID started, and I was actually living I moved to Kenya for half a year exactly at that time, and with one of my business partners. He was also.
What in the world? I hear of people moving to Bali. Let me move to Portugal, Costa Rica. I have never, ever heard one person say, I decided to move to Kenya. How in the world did that happen?
There was, so one of my business partners is professional, long distance runner or used to be. And in Kenya, there's, people that are doing running long distances. They train there, like in the mountains, near, we were in a small village called Iten. So like all the world record holders basically are from that small village. Wow. Yeah, I love the people. Like they are very friendly.
Absolutely.
So it's a great country.
So then around that time, Did one of the brands start doing well during COVID? While you were over there?
Yeah. So 2020, we had this like kitchen brand basically that took off. But the issue with the brand was that like the lead times were very long at that time, and also the production time. Basically, both of these together was like 120 days to get the product to Amazon, which is ridiculous. And we had huge like cash flow issues because by 2020 we had ran through most of our saved money, let's say, and also needed to start doing some side hustles just to get money for living. And then, then the brand took off, and then again we loaned like 25,000 from one of my friends just to buy more inventory and keep the products in stock. And then we had like the second brand, which we are still doing to today, didn't really take off, and it was just existing. And then the third brand we had, then in 2020 we decided to phase this one out because we just couldn't handle 3 brands and start to put focus together. Thanks to my friend, we managed to buy more inventory. We managed to stay in stock for 1 year in a row. And then 2021, somehow we were able to, we understood that we can't sustain 2 brands. We need money, and we don't have enough for both of them. And the brand that took off had better, we had better chances with this one to sell. The other one that we're doing right now, we're sourcing everything from Estonia. It was a very hard brand to sell at that time, and didn't really have good numbers either. So we managed to, basically sell the brand in 2021 for 200. Like we had just one SKU for like nearly like 200,000 USD.
Oh, nice.
Which was a lot of money for us at that time.
Yeah.
Some Swedish aggregator bought us, and a year later they didn't sell the product anymore, which was also interesting investment from their side.
Yeah.
We were very happy.
Did you try and take it back or start it again or something like that? Or?
We don't really like care about it anymore. Like right now, we got the money, we were happy, we started really focusing on the business we have today, like the fruit powders. I'm not sure if I told you about that at the conference as well, but
fruit powder. So is that like what you mix for drinks or what is that?
It's for baking mostly, I'd say. Like middle-aged women are our main customers, or like buyer persona. But I mean, we have like 35 different products. Like we have all types of fruit powders, berry powders that you can imagine, like starting from like passion fruit or blueberry, or and these are single ingredient products. So
that's really nice. And made in Estonia or produced from Estonia?
Yeah, we have factories in Estonia and in Poland. Estonian factory is our main factory. We try to source everything locally, but obviously, like most products come from our region. But obviously, like the exotic fruits, like passion fruit, is it's coming from like Uganda, for example, and I don't know, mango is coming from Vietnam. So exotic stuff we obviously buy from other regions, but like the main bestsellers we have are all from our region. So from Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Ukraine. We buy right now it's just the harvesting season. So right now we are like, there's a lot of work. We're buying blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and then just keeping them basically at the big freezer, and then making them into like freeze drying them and making them into a powder.
So what kind of annual revenue does this brand do for you guys?
So 2021, I think we did 100K a year. That's when we had those cash flow issues and all that. 2022, I think we did 250,000.
Okay. Doubled.
2023, 400,000. 2020,
another double almost.
Yeah, 2024, I think 1.2 million.
Another like doubling every year.
Yeah. And now 2025, probably around 2.5, I'd say.
So talk to me about that. How in the world do you, for 4 years straight, pretty much double every year is I'm assuming it's not just adding more SKUs. I'm sure that's part of it, but you're actually increasing revenue on your existing ones on some of them as well. So how have you had that kind of success? What do you think has been working for you?
Obviously, I have a lot more experience now, and when by that time when we sold the brand, I was already consulting some other like Estonian brands and also learning at the same time from them. So I already knew, like I had like a blueprint already for myself that when eventually we get the money, I exactly know what steps I have to take to scale my own brand. And the only thing missing at that time was money, because first thing was I need to keep all of my products in stock. Like I need to have 3 months of stock. I need to have 2 months on Amazon. I need to have 1 month in my Estonian warehouse. That was the first thing, and that already for that I already needed quite a lot of capital. Second thing, branding. Like we needed to have professional branding, which before we had our own. What we did the best we could, but now we were able to like hire a designer that basically helped us out, improved our branding. Like I gave input, but he made it reality. That was probably the second big thing. After that, conversions just blew up. Third thing, we got a lot of certifications for our products, which are also very expensive to get for food products. Like we have the USD organic certification now. Basically, somebody not from the States, but somebody like was hired by the certifier that flew into Estonia, and obviously we have to pay for it to get certified organic. So now we got our products certified organic, which also means the conversions blew up. So yeah, these have been, I'd say, the main steps. And then we'll also add some new SKUs as well. But I'd say that most growth has come from the products that we already had. But now we just were able to make them a lot better for the customer.
Interesting. Now, I'm looking at one of your listings right now, and I see a few unique things I want to talk about. First of all, I see you're relying heavily on virtual bundles, which I have been telling people for years. I think this is a good idea, but it actually pushed it to the top of. It's almost like even almost level with your buy box. Do you do that mainly to just like kind of like take away that sponsored display ad to push the other ads down, or do you actually see some conversions on your virtual bundles as well?
I'm mostly like one big reason is obviously to push everybody out from our listings and keep all the possible spots occupied offered by Amazon. Also to promote new products. Like always when I launch something, then we do bundles, with the best sellers, just to get some extra traffic. But we don't really specifically, we don't really push the bundles.
Okay.
We just make sure that they're done.
Yeah. I think that's that's good. Like again, like I said, I don't think it should be necessarily for conversions. Maybe some niches it actually works really well, but it pays for itself almost just by to be able to cross promote your own products and push ads down.
Yeah,
now,
and
you
also
have go ahead.
it also increases the average order value because people usually when they buy the bundle they buy 2 or 3 products at a time. So
Yep. Now you have a very aggressive discounting, at least on this one listing I see. I see here a 20% coupon for subscribe and save. I'm assuming that's for the first order. I see here a buy 10, get one free. And then I see a separate coupon to redeem up to 21% off. So I'm assuming that you've been, experimenting with different discounts and stuff and over the months, and this is what you came up with. Talk a little bit about this strategy. Somebody looking at this might be like, what in the world? Like somebody could just stack these up and just really kill you on your profit margins. But how did you land on this strategy?
Yeah, I mean you can do coupons and people can stack them up. Like you can exclude stacking basically.
Okay, good.
So yeah, there's like if you buy any 10 get one free. I mean we we have huge margins on our products as well. So
Nice.
because we do everything in-house, like we source like the raw material. I know exactly from the top of my head how much the raw material costs. Like I know where to buy blueberries directly from the pickers. Yep. We have very close relationship with our factory in Estonia. We do everything ourselves. So that's how we've been able to maintain very high margins on the product, and that's how I can have like a very very good offers basically for customers.
Nice.
Most important discount on the product page is the 20% coupon for subscribe and save. That's what we're trying to push the most. I've experimented 30%, 35%. What I've seen is that 20% is kind of the sweet spot that, if people see a 20% subscribe and save coupon, they're going to use it. If it's as much as they would use the 25 or 30%. If it's 15 or 10%, then the conversion drops. So for us right now, the 20% has been the sweet spot where we don't give up too much margin, but at the same time, we get people to subscribe and save.
Have you on your own or using the Helium 10 tool analyze like your lifetime value for customers and seeing like, the repeat orders? Because that also will help other people out there to decide, hey, what should I, like maybe I need to go more aggressive on the subscribe and save because, oh my goodness, if I get them on subscribe and save, I keep them for 1 year every month or something. Have you looked at that at all?
I haven't looked at the Helium 10 one, but I'm constantly looking at from the Amazon's side to understand how much people are chopping off, after using that one-time coupon. If what's basically the drop-off rate. Then also, and I'm always trying to make sure that month by month, our subscribers are the number of subscribers we have is increasing basically. Okay. And we started the brand. Amazon, I think, didn't even have subscribe and save in 2018, or at least I don't know. We weren't part of it. And at one point, I think that was also actually one of the big reasons why the brand has been like blowing up. Basically, is that the subscribe and save has like a huge like what's the word in English, but like the effect that's if we at first like I see with all the new launches as well, because we have a lot of products that are not they don't have a lot of search volume, but we're still testing the market and seeing if our own customers are interested in the flavors. And what happens is that we start basically there's no search volume, we sell 5 units maybe a day, 3 units a day, or maybe even 1 unit a day, but like 4 months later, we consistently sell 5 to 10 units a day. And then a year later, we're consistently selling 15 to 20 units a day. And that's good for us, for the product. And that happens because, more and more people subscribe and save, and they kind of like keep the BSR up for the product. And then new people find it.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. What other unique things are you doing? Like either on the keyword side or how you're doing advertising, any secret sauce you can share that you think is setting you apart from some of your competitors?
First of all, it's like we have pretty difficult niche in a way that to get your hands on the products that we have, for example, the blueberry powder, like if you're even looking at the sellers that are selling the specific berry that we are selling, because there's different blueberries. There's, people that grow it like cultural or like cultivated blueberries, but then there are the ones that are grown in the forest, like wild blueberries, and their specific blueberry is Vaccinium myrtillus, which is you can only get it from Finland, Sweden, Estonia, basically. So it's already very hard for other people to get their hands on the raw material, and there's like 3 Estonian sellers. But to get to my point is that we are very aggressive. Like we have the product, it's hard to enter the market, but at the same time, we are also like on the Amazon side, we are very aggressive with marketing. Like we're doing a lot of ads. I make sure that we're trying to have like all the keyword spots for us. Like I've tested different things out that where if we achieve rank 1 somewhere, then I turn PPC off, and then we have the organic rank up there. But what I've noticed is that way I give the PPC spot to a competitor, and then the sales immediately, they get hit. And yep. So far I've decided that I'll be aggressive. I'll get the PPC rank for myself, and then also organic. And even though I have a bit smaller margin, the velocity is much higher. Because if you look some of, like, I'm also sometimes surprised, like if I look some of our products, then like there's a lot of other flavors you can see there that are not that are pretty irrelevant. Like, I don't know, if you look at maybe like raspberry powder, then you can see that if you scroll down, there's like a lot of other our products, and that's how we try to cross sell and people see our different flavors and then basically bundle them up as well.
Okay. Before we get to your final like 30 or 60-second strategy, how can people find you out there on the interwebs? I know you do some side consulting too, or do you have anything you want to promote at all?
I mean, I don't really do. I don't. I mean, people who know me, and if they need consultation, then obviously I'm helping them. And if it's a very good deal that's hard to say no to, then I'm also always considering. But I'm not really okay. Like, doing brand management for 10 different brands. I have plenty of work with my own, and usually right now what I've done is that I have one other brand that I'm helping, and then my own brand. And that so
you
far.
Want to mention your actual product that people can go buy? At least, hey, I want to promote you somehow. I might actually buy some of this for my smoothie. Right now I'm doing carnivore diet, so I can't eat any of this smoothies or any fruit or anything. But I'm going to be your customer soon once I finish this diet.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not afraid of competition. I think it's healthy.
Yeah. You have and that's beautiful. You have a moat. Like, hey, unless you're in Estonia and you have direct connection with these farmers and stuff, like you can't just like copy this like a product from China or something.
Yeah, I'm always like making fun that basically Chinese, if China wants to bring the product on the market, they're buying the berries or the powder from us, basically. But yeah, Jungle Powders is the brand. I think you'll like it. But yeah, make sure to look into the product and learn how to use it, because some people you can't just directly eat it. It's dry fruit, so it's
Let me get a spoonful and put it in my mouth. No, that's not the way. I can already tell that's not the way to do it.
Put it in a smoothie, put it in a yogurt. Some people even drink it with water, but it's it's whole fruit powder, so it doesn't dissolve. So you have to, I'd recommend like yogurt is the best, or like into a pancake mix or something like this.
Yep. I love it. Love it. All right. Last 30-second tip or 60-second tip. Could be about anything. Could be about going to Euro basketball games. Could be about picking blueberries in Estonia. Could be about PPC, anything you want.
Yeah. I'll give you, Amazon related tip. I thought about, and I feel like I realized it too late. I wish I had realized it much earlier, but like really focus on customers. We sell food products, and sometimes our powders are clumping up. People get it, they're rock hard. Have solutions for every issue your product has, and even and send the explanation to the customer. But what we also do on top of that is like no questions asked. We refund if it's possible. Refund the customer. We send a free replacement to them. We don't want to risk them leaving a bad review. And that way, we usually get actually a 5-star review, even though they weren't satisfied with the product. We refunded them, sent them a replacement, and they were like amazed by the brand. And I also, combat this with the negative reviews. Like whenever we get 1, 2, or 3-star review, I immediately refund, and then I follow up. Like I have a VA now who's doing that, but she immediately follows up with them, offers a replacement, and I think right now that's the best and probably the best way how to get rid of or get the review changed, pretty much.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to reach out to you in a year or so and let's see if you doubled again. I don't know how many years in a row you can keep doubling. It's kind of amazing, but congrats on all your success, and look forward to seeing you hopefully in Estonia again. It already became easily top 10 country I've ever been to out of the 70 countries I've been to. So look forward to visiting there, and maybe I'll see you at a conference soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Bradley. Yeah.